Good evening, everyone. My name is Casey Freites, and today I'm going to give you a short review about the current situation that the Venezuelan education system is facing nowadays. As you can see through some videos, we are facing a severe crisis due to the political and economic situation of the country. That affects especially most of the teachers and also students, okay? So I would like to separate them and highlight some of the aspects that they are facing nowadays. If we start with the teachers and what they are facing nowadays, I would like to start first with the extremely low salaries that are insufficient to cover the basic needs, okay? As you can see, some of the teachers and most of them are not receiving the proper salary that they need to cover their basic needs. That occasions a complete abandonment of the profession and also a loss of jobs for the teachers nowadays. And for that, they are looking for new opportunities and they are migrating to other places that can offer them most opportunities for better payment and also better resources, and that occasions an unsupport feeling for most of the teachers nowadays. Okay, also most of the teachers are facing the needing of having multiple jobs because their low salaries can't let them cover, as I said, the basic needs. That means that they are looking for other opportunities that can maybe equalize the amount of the proper payment that they need. Okay? Also, they are experimenting a lack of motivation and they are feeling unsupport because of the lack of resources, and also they don't feel the support of the government and also the infrastructure or institution. They are not giving them enough resources that they can need to make a significant knowledge for the student. Okay, something that it's important to talk about is about the reduced government funding for education, leading to poor infrastructure and lack of resources. Okay, as I said, it is important for the teacher to have some resources that can let them give good classes, give enough opportunities to make the students to learn. Okay, something that it's important. It's one of the most important aspects of education. It's that if we want to teach students and if we want them to learn, it is important to have good strategies, okay, for them to learn any of the contents, okay, any of the subjects. It is important to have strategies, okay, that can let them learn and have some significant knowledge, okay. Also, there's a difficulty with the transportation, okay. There's a difficulty in commuting to schools, okay, and that's also a problem that affects most of the citizens of this country. But also it is important to emphasize the difficulty that it's for the teachers, okay. Due to the low salaries that the teachers are receiving, they can't have a good or a normal commuting to schools, okay. So that means that their low salaries are becoming less due to the payment that the teachers have to give to transportation, okay? It is important to emphasize that the government has to ensure to also teachers and students transportation for them, okay? That is something that it's very important to clarify, and we are not receiving that as me, as a teacher, as part of this community. We are not receiving enough payment, and also there's the lack of government funding for education. As you can see, the government should ensure most of the students and also teachers free transportation for them, okay? That is something that the government should ensure. But as you can see, we are facing some severe crisis that can let them ensure that for most of them, okay? Also, due to that, most of the teachers are facing a lack of motivation and also a feeling of being unsupport, okay? So that it's a really, really important problem, because how can a teacher ensure or give a student a good learning or even good strategies for them if they are not feeling motivated, okay? Most of the teachers nowadays, they are not feeling motivated to teach, and that also affects the students' process, okay? That occasions that most of the students don't feel motivated to perform to class because they don't feel motivated, okay, to attend to classes. If the teachers are not feeling good because of the lack of resources and the lack of strategies, and also the lack of necessities such as water, such as electricity, such as food, and also school supplies, they will not feel motivated and they will not feel support. They will not feel support. Okay, that is a very complicated problem that the teachers are facing nowadays, and that affects also the students' work. Okay, now if we pass into the problems that the students are facing, you can see that there's a lack of qualified teachers in many subjects, okay? Why is that happening? As we talked before, the feeling of being non-support and also the lack of motivation for most of the teachers occasions that most of them quit and leave their jobs, okay? Causing also that they migrate to other countries, okay? Seeking for new opportunities for jobs, okay? That is also a problem for most of the students, okay? Because they don't feel that they are learning something. There's a lack of qualified teachers in many subjects that let the students feel unmotivated to attend to classes. Also, the poor infrastructure and the lack of essential resources like water, electricity, and also food affects the students' learning, okay? Also, due to the transportation costs, you can see that there's a difficulty in attending to classes, okay? Also, one of the complications that you can see, they are not physical, okay? They are not related to education, but there's a difficulty in nutritional deficiencies that affect the ability of the students to learn, okay? It is important to the students to have a good feeding, okay? And if they are facing at home nutritional deficiencies, that could affect their ability to learn, okay? That occasions also due to that, to the nutritional deficiencies, and also the difficulty of the poor infrastructure that they are experimenting, that occasionate a delay and also some difficulties in achieving expected competencies, okay? As you can see nowadays, most of the students and most of the teenagers and also adults can sometimes feel bad and feel unmotivated to study a career or maybe study in school because they feel that they cannot reach the levels or the competencies that they need. And that it's because they had a deficient education due to the lack of support, the lack of the motivation that they had, okay? So you can see that there are very complicated problems that they are facing nowadays, okay? And if we put them together, you can see that most of them are similar, okay? Both students and teachers are facing transportation problems. They are facing the lack of infrastructure that is well functioning, and also the lack of supplies that can let the students and also the teachers get a good functioning, okay? As a conclusion, I would like to express that there's a tiny but important percentage of students and also teachers that still want to keep learning, okay? For students, they still want to keep learning every day, and they try, even with those problems, they are still attending and doing their most precious effort to assist and also to learn, okay? Also, that it's important for the teachers too. There are teachers that are still struggling with those problems, but they love their jobs and they like to ensure the kids and also teenagers education quality, okay? So this was all. I hope you could understand a little bit about this situation of the country, and well, I really hope that you could understand how this current situation of the Venezuelan education system is affecting both of students and also teachers. So it was a pleasure to explain this and to give you this resume, and I hope you have a good day, and thank you very much.